Hi, it's Angie. Welcome to a wonderful place in the interior of British Columbia. So I'm doing this video right on the heels of noticing a travel alert for Canadians in Jalisco State, which is in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Okay, so I'm just kind of doing a little prayer video here, somewhat, that all Canadians, well, this is particular for Canada, okay? Because here's where I'm going to question, well, I don't question myself, but I do love to travel. We did think about going to PV. That's the acronym for Puerto Vallarta. There are a lot of people in the neighborhood that I live in that are stuck right now in Puerto Vallarta. I can just imagine what their family and friends are thinking about. This has happened before, I think, but in a different, I think it was a couple of years ago, there was another travel warning. Now, there are people that I know in this new community that are faithful followers or faithful to going to Puerto Vallarta. I never expected to be doing this video today, and for many reasons. I'm going to go down here. Dear, I'm just going to go down here, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I'll see you around that side. Okay, so this is for, there's a multitude of reasons why I'm doing this video. First of all, I relocated to a wonderful country. A lot of the people that we do live nearby have relocated as well. A lot of them come from Ontario, the interior, or the British Columbia. They've come from Alberta, they've come from Saskatchewan, and they're compelled to go to Puerto Vallarta. Okay, but I did do another video, but I decided to do this just with my walking video here because, okay, I don't know if these people are addicted. This is the lyric to Watching the Sun Bake, kind of like a clam bake, but anyways, because I know a lot of people as they age, they have the fear of missing out. They have the fear of growing old, and they have to get that splash tan or that fake tan on. They have to have a tan all year round, okay? But I kind of question myself because we do live, you're going to hear me talk about British Columbia again, but I feel actually bad for those people that are stuck there, okay? They're basically marooned in Mexico. Okay, so all that money spent, we're ready to turn on our air conditioning on probably within the next month or 2 months, okay? I don't know if this is like the village people, but I don't know if they're stuck on stupid, that they don't really understand how beautiful Canada is. Like, I'm just gonna keep on raving about this, and I just don't understand it. I don't understand why you'd want to go to that type of country. That's just me. I've been to Mexico. I've been to Cancun twice, and I've also been to the Baja Peninsula, which is in Mexico. And hi. And I'm just gonna go down here. I just don't understand. Okay, so I'm just trying to get my camera maneuvered here. Just 1 second here. I just got to get somebody's attention here because I don't like to put. Anyways, they put themselves in harm's way. I'm just going to be upfront about it because I would be boiling over. I don't have to worry about. My son doesn't have to worry now. Okay, because we relocated. I have to recommend relocating. Okay, when you relocate in your retirement years to a different community like this place and in the interior of British Columbia, the Okanagan goes from Penticton to Osoyoos, I think it is, Vernon, all the way to Penticton, and then there's Skaha. There's so many beautiful places, okay, but for me, because I do like to travel as well, I had to curb my travel appeal, And how I curbed it is by relocating. That's just for me, because I relocated to a place that is just brand new. Everything here is brand new. And maybe that's the secret sauce to all of this, because I don't feel compelled to travel as much as I used to. I remember going to, if I went to the DR, which is the Dominican Republic, or if I went to Cuba, as soon as I came home, I felt like I wanted to get away right away. I just had this insatiable appetite because I wasn't happy. I just wasn't happy. So relocating significant distance has helped me a lot. Okay, so back to Puerto Vallarta. I've been to that area where I can't remember, Cortez, the Sea of Cortez. I never feel safe in Mexico. I used to have a travel agent as a friend, and she would try to convince me all the time of how safe it was in Mexico. Let's just back this up a bit. You can't drink the water, for starters, okay? They have a huge turf war going on right now as we speak, and fellow Canadians are marooned there. You have to go. My husband's so cute. He's just like my little watchful eye. But I would be in terror right now if I was told to take shelter in Mexico. In Mexico. This is maybe going to get a little bit political, because I don't know if Carney has the guts to go up against the cartel, okay? This is like a ravaging on a collective. Mexico on a collective is not safe. I'm sorry, but for me, it's always about safety. For me, number one, always, okay? I did start this video, but earlier, we're just on the heels of trying to figure out, well, in the crime community, what happened to Savannah Guthrie's mother, okay? And lo and behold, Canadians are marooned in Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco. This is the young generation. This is a different cartel. They've got cars on fire. They've got, I guess the Mexican government shot a leader. I'm gonna go down here. Shot a leader of the drug cartel. So it's gang war, it's turf war. I cannot fathom why anybody, don't get me wrong, I just feel safe here. I cannot fathom why anybody would want to go there when they're constantly telling you about turf wars. This is not a joke. Maybe people don't take this seriously enough, but look at here, right? You're gonna always hear me talk about stay home, like Pierre Poilievre. It's a little bit political. Stay home. You know, I don't know too many things, but I know one thing, that there's a lot of people that have sold property in the United States. I don't even know if you could sell. It's something to do with about a mortgage. Anyways, people are mortgaged to the hilt here too. This is, you know that song, The Hills are Sound of Music. Okay, because to me, living here is literally the sound of music. I will never go to Mexico. You will never hear me do a video from Mexico. I found out today that I can't even bring Coco to Hawaii through Air Canada. I'm going over there. We can't travel with Coco, and she has to go in cargo. So a couple of trips. So we're adapting, we're modifying, okay? But just take a look at this, honest to God. Like, if you ever feel like you want to travel, or for me as a person, I would be remiss if I was to ever tell anybody to go to Mexico. I think that would be, I would lose my badge of honor. I really would. I would be losing my brownie guides, my brownie stripes, because I was a brownie, and this is taking it from a wise owl here, okay? I cannot condone that. I cannot condone anybody going to Mexico. I just can't. And I am shocked that there are direct flights. There are direct flights from communities around here directly to Puerto Vallarta. I wouldn't be surprised if they start rethinking this, because I just don't know how you would get out of there. You kind of have to wait. You're kind of like you're kind of like waiting, like Katie Waity. Who says that? But these are narcissistic psychopaths. They have no problem kidnapping you, taking you out, and you could never be found again. I couldn't do it. Okay, so I just wanted to say that because I did try to do a video from my home, and I'm going to go back on the TV when I get home, well, when I turn this video off, because I'm praying for the release, or for those, they're kind of like maybe hostages, but not hostages, because to be told that you have to stay in shelter, like in a country that is having a turf, it's almost a little bit like a coup. My hands are really cold out here. I'm surprised. But honestly, I don't know if somebody got henpecked here. Because there's a lot of times a lot of people don't want to go and they're forced into these trips, because there is a lot, I'm going to talk about women, there are a lot of women that have to play that pickleball. I know people in my neighborhood that are obsessed with it, but do you really have to go? Do you really have to go to Mexico and leave this wonderful place? Do you really have to do that? Is it worth it? I don't think it's worth it. For me, it's not worth it. For me, I enjoy the nature. I never felt safe there. Like I said, you can't drink the water, okay? And primary, there's something about a primary, I'm not sure why I hear the word primary, but I just can't, this is like a really neat little camping place here. I'm on the other side of the Okanagan. I don't know. I just feel like having to take shelter when you have gunfire around you. We're not used to that in this country. We're not. Okay, so all around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. That's what it's like when you have a turf war. Pop goes the weasel. Could be because I'm around this little area here. Kind of like, it's kind of like a little stadium here. Oh, it's made by the Lions Club. It's a pavilion. This is like a nice little pavilion in here. They must have they probably have done little shows in here. This is kind of like outside of this park here. But you see this little pavilion here? So I love taking my subscribers with me when I go on these things, because lots of this is new to me too. And like I said, it was news to me. They're like grizzlies there in Mexico. You know, I think people have gotten married here. I remember I came here 5 years ago, and they're like saber-toothed tigers in Mexico. When you go to a country where there's drug turf, you don't want to be there. We know that. Okay, so how long am I going to do this video? Okay, I'm playing follow the leader. I'm following you, dear. We can head back to the parking lot if you want. But they're dealing with these ice queens in there. Like, we thought about it. We thought about going to Mexico. And I even had a trip booked maybe 3 years ago. I lost a lot of money. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I was sleeping. Well, first of all, I was awake. That's how you have to trust your instincts, right? Or trust the messages or the feelings that you get. And for someone else, perhaps, and maybe a lot of this kind of unsettled fear, it's kind of a form of protection for me. It reminds me of that Ramsey guy. that Ramsey that did that has all those restaurants. I can't remember that his first name, but he's the one has that knives, those knives. It's Knives Out with those types of people. But that's kind of like a residual thing that I have to feel safe. Okay? Oh, this is a nice little bridge. So it's still a little bit cool here. We're in a different area. I try to that's the Sea to Sky Highway. Lots of direct flights, lots of flights from Vancouver that are in Puerto Vallarta. Even even like the Sea to Sky Highway, even that's in Vancouver. For some reason I'm thinking about that. Anyways, I do. Yeah, that's because there was a wedding around here. But I feel really horrible. I do, for the people, even that are in my neighborhood, okay? Because I said it already, it's not too often that direct flights or they're canceling flights and they're told to shelter in place. So this is just another little, I just have to say this is just another little aloha, because this is my ohana, which is, even though there are people that are, I don't know, I really want to pray for them to be able to return to Canada today, hopefully, or whenever, safe and sound. So take care, like, subscribe. I didn't even feel like saying that, but we'll see you when we see you. It's all done. Enjoy.